I'm less of a lady if I don't wear pantyhose. My mama said a lady ain't what she wears but what she knows. But I've drawn the conclusion it's all an illusion. Confusion's the name of the game. A misconception, a vast deception. Something's gotta change. I'm not the average girl from your video, and I ain't built like a supermodel, but I learned to love myself unconditionally because I am a queen. I'm not the average girl from your video. My worth is not determined by the price of my clothes. No matter what I'm wearing, I will always be the SHS queen.
The wife of noble character. A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes a seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she can laugh at the days to come. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtues and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. Proverbs 31:10-31.
I could be stronger. I could be prettier. I could be more intelligent. I could be more desirable. I could be more powerful. But why are you trying to stop me? Why are you feeding me this fallacy that math and science are only for men? That I'm average on a scale of 1 to 10? That my pretty little head is really good at makeup, but studying literature is time of yours that I take up? You see, there are 62 million girls in this world who are uneducated. Are you trying to push me into that population of those who are subjugated? I look at the statistics of how many men are in school versus how many girls are educated, and I feel as though the numbers are faulty, yet it's a socially accepted way of life that's perpetuated. 62 million girls. Let that sink in. Doesn't it seem a bit bizarre or even a little immorally wrong that in commercials or even textbooks you always see men as leaders and women as aid? Businessmen crowd our subways, our streets, our communities, but not so much businesswomen. Men as doctors and women as nurses, men as breadwinners and women as bread makers. They don't tell women be scared of having your degree snatched from you, but hold on tight to your purses. Because the world is a dark and scary place where guns and pepper sprays aren't going to keep you safe. The only type of security you can get is to be beside a man. That's the only real-life education you'll need. Now, you couldn't get that from a book, could you? For change and success, is my femininity something up for trade? There are little girls every day all across the world waking up at the crack of dawn to trek to school for miles and miles in order to step away from lines that have been drawn. These lines that have been elongated over years because women are powerful. Why is that such a fear? We have so many women like Malala who selflessly fight for education liberation in a gender unequal environment, or Michelle Obama who tirelessly advocates for young girls to get what they're not owed but what is rightfully theirs. Some scholarships offer STEM programs only for women because there's such a lack of girls in the system. These opportunities and people are wonderful and empowering, but don't get me wrong. But the truth of the matter is that it's a huge issue in front of our faces because it's a problem that has been created and continued throughout history and societies because the rights of women have always been stripped away. We are discouraged from success because of who we are. I didn't know that my gender would be a barrier for what I'm so capable of. And it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't try to steer me away from being educated. I'm challenging the system not only for the betterment of my future, but also for the futures of those who are underrepresented and those who are indirectly labeled as less than. Because what may seem as a fib to you is truth to us. Because we could be so much more powerful, but the thing is we already are. And for those who doubt our abilities, I have something to say. It's not that I could be. I could be stronger, prettier, more intelligent, more desirable. I could be more powerful. But the thing is, I already am. Welcome to the Matter Speak Series 2. This month is Women's History Month, and it's presented to you by the Women's Empowerment Club. So I hope you enjoyed the first two performances and enjoy the rest.
When I was too young to have keys of my own, my mom showed me how to place them between my small fingers. A makeshift weapon, a simple lesson. Nearly 1 in 5 women will be sexually assaulted in her lifetime. For my friends, it was 4 out of 7. Started hearing the catcalls around age 11. First time I had to get away from a scary drunk boy whose hands did not understand the word no. I was 14. He was a good friend. I got away. We didn't always get away, and we had keys, and we have PTSD. Check all the locks twice before we can sleep. And I'm still trying to find a remedy for a world that asks what I was wearing. Was I drinking? I'll tell you for the record that I wasn't drinking. I'll tell you that my best friend was, and that she was wearing her jeans before they were taken off when she was asleep, 1 in 5. If 1 in 5 women were eaten by sharks, would we ask what they were wearing? Why were they swimming? How dare they swim? You see, we're always questioning her when the answers can only be given by him. So easy to blame the victim. When I teach about rape, every time I'm reminded about the problem of false accusations from those who never studied the situation. They somehow know how to point a finger so well, but not the statistic that only between 2 and 8% of accusations are false. How is it we are so familiar with that small fraction, but continue to refuse to acknowledge the truth? We have a problem. Don't walk alone in the dark, don't fall asleep at a party, don't drink a drink if someone hands one to you. I hate to tell you that all these are true, even with keys. Hell, don't go dancing, don't travel, don't fall asleep next to your boyfriend. All of these things led to the rape of my friends, and we had keys, and we have a problem. So educate yourselves, please, and let me give you some keys of advice. Consent is when a person says yes to sexual activity. They cannot give consent when they are drunk or on drugs. They cannot give consent when they are asleep. Stop calling girls sluts and all those other names while praising men when they do the same. And finally, you can't stop a whole problem by yourself. You can take precautions, have discussions, read and learn about what is true. I don't have the answers, but this last key here is me asking for help with this problem from you.
Hi guys. Hello. I'm Elliot Sykes Rodriguez, and I am a feminist. I think most of you know what that word means, probably do. But let me talk to you about what it means to me. So, I'm a feminist in the sense that I was raised by powerful women. I have become the man who I am today by being taught by powerful women. For example, my grandmother, she grew up in Greenwood, Mississippi, which is the town where the book The Help is set in. When she was 15, she ran away with a Puerto Rican guy from Brooklyn, and they got married and moved to Boston. She then went to law school and became one of Boston's top family lawyers, and she's an inspiration to me. And she's why I'm a feminist. I could have talked about my own gender identity. Could have talked about reasons why women need help in the world, why there are problems involving women in the world. But I just wanted to share this with you.
A letter to my 17-year-old self. Dear me. Pause the Rage Against the Machine CD and close the AOL Instant Messenger windows. I need a minute. I want to tell you some things whether you want to hear them or not. First, break up with Matt. I know he's funny and he loves the same music you do and he pays you a lot of attention. He's a little older than you, which makes you feel very cool. But he also makes you feel guilty for having perfectly reasonable emotional reactions, and he tells you you're overreacting when he's setting you up to do so. It's called gaslighting. The term actually comes from a movie. When Wikipedia is invented, you can look it up really easily. Note to self, invent Wikipedia. But okay, let's not get sidetracked. The point is that Matt's behavior is manipulative and shitty, and he's a shitty person. Get out. I mean, you dump him before you go to college anyway, but the months before that are not fun. So do this now while you still have a shred of dignity left. And while I hesitate to meddle too much in your future and my past, let me just advise you against dating anyone named Matt. Yes, even the one with the excellent tattoos. Especially the one with the excellent tattoos. Dear me. In college, you're going to make a lot of sacrifices while trying to be polite to men who want things from you. When the guy from OkCupid, who looked a lot cuter in his pictures, leans in for a goodnight kiss and he makes a horrible fishy face, you don't have to kiss him. You don't owe him a kiss because he bought you chicken. When your extremely close friend flies you out to visit him to help him recuperate from surgery, you don't have to be more than a friend to him. You don't owe him access to your body because he bought you a plane ticket, even an expensive one. When your ex, who loved you despite you not loving him back, sends you an enormous stuffed dog with a very cute note for Valentine's Day, you don't have to get back together with him. You don't owe him a relationship because he bought you a stuffed dog. You get to keep the dog regardless. We still have it. It's very cute. You are more afraid of being called a bitch than you are of doing things you don't want to do. You hold yourself ransom and you allow men to hold you ransom too because you would rather kiss a fish-faced man than allow that fish-faced man, a stranger, to possibly think you are rude for not returning his advances. Be rude. Be a bitch. Be both of those things if it means doing right by yourself. Hey, have you dumped Matt yet? Seriously, in 15 years he's sober and married and happy with a brand new baby, but this is not working out. Call it a day. Dear me, in 15 years when you're teaching freshmen, you will have a lot of male students. They will mean well, but some of them will be painfully misguided. When you bring up feminism, they will scoff. They will ask why women hate men so much. They will ask, who's really a feminist anyway? And when you point to yourself, with eyebrows raised, they'll say, really? With both belief, disbelief, and disgust in their voices. Some of them will say that sexism isn't really a thing. Some of them will say that if women are scared to walk home alone at night, then they should walk home in groups, or not get drunk, or not stay out late, or wear more clothing. Some of these boys, these children, will assert that a woman who dresses like a slut is asking to be treated like one. These children who love their mothers and their sisters, who would fend off 100 attackers to protect them, will tell you that women's bodies are public property if women aren't careful enough with them. You will stand in front of the room of these students feeling like you have failed. You will look in the eyes of the girls in your classroom and see the ghost of disappointment behind the resignation. These 14-year-old girls have already given up on being safe and respected. You will feel completely disheartened. Like, if I can't help these kids value each other, what the hell am I even doing? What's the point of teaching these kids to analyze a novel if I can't teach them to understand agency and consent and trust and respect? You'll wonder if you're doing any good. But you'll try again the next day anyway. So, listen, me. Dump Matt. Take a deep breath, because we both have work to do.
Don't look at me.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. But I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring me down. And I am beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring me down. Oh no. So don't you bring me down today. To all your friends, you're delirious, so consumed in all your doom. I'm trying hard to fill that emptiness. The piece is gone, left the puzzle undone. That's the way it is. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring you down. And you are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring you down. Oh no. So don't you bring me down today. No matter what we do, no matter what they say, with a song inside a tune, full of beautiful mistakes. And everywhere we go, the sun will always shine. And tomorrow we might awake on the other side. We are beautiful, no matter what they say. Words can't bring us down. And we are beautiful in every single way. Yes, words can't bring us down. So don't you bring me down today.
I don't have a lot of memories of kindergarten, but one that sticks in my mind is I was 5 years old, and it was the first picture day of my life. You know picture day in school, right? So I was born in the 60s, started school in the 70s. The expectation for girls was that girls wear dresses, boys wear pants. But I remember that day, and my mother said, "You're going to wear this jumper." She used the word jumper. I remember it, and I said, "No, that's a dress." And she said, "You're going to wear it." And I said, "I don't want to wear it." And she made me wear it. And if I had a big enough version of it, I would bring it in, and you would see me with my home haircut, in my jumper, and my face is this. I have it. And I didn't like wearing dresses. Fast forward about 2 or 3 years, my father brought me to the public library on College Ave. I was so excited I was getting to take out a book from the library. And we went to check out the book. The librarian said to my father, the librarian knew my father, and said, "Oh, is this your son?" I had my hair cut short at that time. My father said, "No, this is my daughter. And I'm very proud of my daughter." Both of those times I never shrunk back from that. I never felt like, oh, maybe I should dress more like a girl. Maybe I should look more like a girl. Then I came here to Somerville High School. And I was in my 10th grade geometry class. Teacher who's retired now. Props to Mary Scappa, if anyone here knows Mary Scappa. And all the other female teachers dressed very nicely. And by the way, for the women who like to dress up and wear dresses and nice clothes and makeup and all that, that's fine. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But Miss Scappa wore khaki pants and t-shirts. And it was 1982. And I thought, I dress like that. That's how I dress. And I liked it. Still, I didn't feel any pressure because I'm very comfortable with who I was then. And then in my early 20s, I was working in an office where I had to dress up. and I had to wear skirts and shoes. Mostly I wore dress pants. And one of my coworkers said to me one day, "You must wish you were a guy." I said, "What?" And she said, "You watch sports, you like sports, you're involved in a hockey program, a boys' hockey program. You have VU hockey season tickets, men's team. You wear pants most of the time. You don't like to dress up, you don't wear makeup. You must wish you were a guy." And I said, "No, I'm very proud to be a woman. There's never been a time in my life where I thought, boy, I should have been a boy because I like to dress like boys. I never thought I was dressing like boys. I thought I was dressing like me." And I own dress clothes, and students think it's a novelty to look at my wedding picture on my desk where I'm in a dress with my husband, and they say, "Oh my God," as one student said to me a couple weeks ago, "Oh my God, Miss Brewster, you beautiful girl, you beautiful." Some of my seniors know who that was. But the thing is I don't feel beautiful, I don't feel ugly, I feel like me. This is how I dress, this is who I am, and you know what? There aren't just thousands of women like me and girls like me. There are millions of girls like me and women like me. So don't let someone make you feel pressured to look like a girl, or act like a girl, or be a girl. Just be yourself, and everything else falls into place.
Girl, what? Guess what happened to me the other day?
What happened?
This boy had the nerve to say I ain't got no hair. He said,
Oh, what? You don't say that.
What'd you say back?
I said my hair don't define me.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Okay, then.
Cause sometimes I shave my legs and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I comb my hair and sometimes I won't. Depending how the wind blows, I might even kick my toes. It really just depends on whatever feels good in my soul. Cause I'm not the average girl from your video, and I ain't built like a supermodel, but I learned to love myself unconditionally because I am a queen.
Guys, guess what happened to me?
What happened?
This boy had the nerve to say that I was fat.
What? What did you say?
Girl, I told him I'm queen size, honey. When I look in the mirror and the only one there is me. Every pimple on my face is where it's supposed to be. And I know my creator didn't make no mistakes on me. My feet, my thighs, my lips, my eyes, I'm loving what I see. I'm not the average girl from your video, and I ain't built like a supermodel, but I learned to love myself unconditionally because I am a queen.
Girl, you will never guess what happened to me the other day.
What happened?
So I was walking down the street, and this boy had the energy to tell me that my shorts were too short.
The energy?
What you say? What did you say? I said, "I'm sorry, but I don't dress to impress."
Oh, snap. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that?
Let's talk.
Am I less of a lady if I don't wear pantyhose? My mama said a lady ain't what she wears, but what she knows. But I've drawn the conclusion, it's all an illusion. Confusion's the name of the game. A misconception, a vast deception. Something's gotta change.
I'm not the average girl from your video, and I ain't built like a supermodel, but I learned to love myself unconditionally because I am a queen. I'm not the average girl from your video. My worth is not determined by the price of my clothes. No matter what I'm wearing, I will always be the SHS queen.
This is a poem I wrote about the three most important women in my life. It's called Women's Creation. Mom, wheezing there was no ease in my pain, struggling for breath without words to complain. You consoled and doled out love at every minute, though life sucker punched you in the beginning. Abused, confused, and forced to choose. At a young age, the don'ts and do's don't pay off, you lose. At the age of 16, you raised your siblings, seeming someone who'd seen more years than dead kings. No surprise you found the bottle, or better put it, found you. Why wouldn't you have thought hell was something to drink to? But against the sea of troubles, Phoenix like you emerged, replacing AA with a double in the demons you purged. Sister, on a pedestal you tower, modeling all you did, advancing female power, dominating sports as a kid, ice hockey championships, most athletic senior year, field hockey scholarships, walk on D1 with no fear. Under all this success lurks silence in the closet, unsure how to confess and reveal a false composite. In a letter brave and bold, telling stories untold, soon you broke the mold free from society's hold. Giving your heart to hockey, taking a pay cut, or cutting your pay, showed your integrity who'd reduce the pay to $50K. Finding love, taking a wife, you're blessed with happiness. Together you'll bring forth life surpassing all you knew of bliss. Wife, you always challenge me despite my stubborn way, holding a mirror so I can see my flaws every single day. Your beauty to the eye surpassed only by this, a mind open like the sky, blessing all of my kiss. Your heart limitless in love provides comfort and safety. The words are not enough to distill actions so saintly. Like an inexhaustible well, there's no end to your giving. Grace impossible to quell is how you make your living. And with these lines, I must bid you adieu, thanks to the women who created the man in front of you.
I don't want to start off basic with my inspiration is or I appreciate, but I wanted to acknowledge a special person that over some time now has made me understand, identify, and grasp the true meaning of being and aspiring to be a strong black woman. Within a day in the life of myself, I sense around me happiness, disparity, fatigue. I see smirks, smiles, bonds, all of which can be fake or genuine, and all of which can vent from a single being's wave of emotions or desire to fit into the puzzles their surroundings create. But from what I have seen, from the people I have seen it from, I don't believe I have ever come across or noticed this particular woman veer even subtly off the initial emotion she possessed when I first met her. From that realization, I had also realized that I had found something remarkably rare. You see, she is among things, by God, who is given faith, the raw industrial material by strength, to build herself a standstill mural. This mural, a mural of her own choice, unbreakable and non-changing, no matter what it withheld behind itself. Upon discovering this remarkable being, I did believe that their wall was built ever so indestructible, precise and without flaw. But not long ago, I unearthed the bug within her wall. I was walking down the halls, looking for a way to relieve the frustration of my life, when I heard weeps, cries, coming further down. I eased by the young lady, noticing that it had been her, my inspiration. Seeing her in this condition made me hopeless. If she had this kink, this glitch in her wall, what could I have made of mine? In my attempt to patch the mistake in her mural from outside, I fractured my own, the one I had been trying so hard to build, watching her every stroke and following. She then wiped her tears and lifted her head. Emotionless, she said, "I'm fine." Maybe I had been wrong. She still holds this strength that had inspired me in the beginning. Maybe the part of being a strong black woman includes having a stronghold on your emotions, but occasionally, and I mean occasionally, letting them go. It is not ease for us, but this is what being a strong black woman means.
These are lyrics from a song by one of my favorite feminists. Her name is Ani DeFranco, and if you don't know her, you should check her out. She's amazing. So the song's called Face Up and Sing. I'll try not to sing it. Try to actually speak the words. Some guy tried to rub up against me in a crowded subway car. Some guy tried to feed me some stupid line in some stupid bar. I see the same shit every day. The landscape looks so bleak. I think I'll take the first one he is home that does something unique.
Some chick says, "Thank you for saying all the things I never do." I say, "You know, the thanks I get is to take all the shit for you. It's nice that you listen. It'd be nicer if you joined in. As long as you play their game, girl, you're never gonna win." Today I just want someone to entertain me. I'm tired of being so fierce. I'm tired of being so friendly. You don't have to be a supermodel to do the animal thing. You don't have to be a super genius to open your face up and sing. Somebody do something, anything, soon. I know I can't be the only whatever I am in the room. Why am I so lonely? Why am I so tired? I need backup. I need company. I need to be inspired. Phone. Check. Please. Check. I'm not wearing sneakers. It's okay. Mean mug. No one's gonna step to you. It's nighttime. There's no time for me to play games when I live in a world where boys can be boys. And I've been taught to yell fire. Because Lord knows the society cares more about broken property than they do about broken little girls. You want to know what a day in the life is for a girl? It's calculation. The event ends at 9, so who can I get a ride from? My hair is short, so no one can yank me from behind. I did track for 3 years. I can definitely run and beat him in record time. I'm wearing a skirt. Now he has an alibi. These calculations do not make me any more safer. It just eases my anxiety. I'm paranoid every day because I know it can happen at any time. Broad daylight, I've been followed. Chased down a bridge. Being yelled at. Where are you going? By cars. By officials. In these hallways. I remember back when me and my 4 friends were walking from fireworks. This cop car rolls in and starts taking pictures of us. We confront him. What are you doing? He starts yelling, "Oh, your mother's a bitch." We're like, "What's your number?" He says, "Oh, you don't need to know." Tears rolling down our face, we go to the office, telling the cop what happened. Looking at us, we know that he has the best interest for his friend. Seeing that same police officer in this hallway, smugly smiling like, "How you doing?" like he got the upper hand. Then when he retires, he leaves with an award, even though we've warned a couple officials. Being dragged in secluded hallways by a friend of mine, force-fed candy, dodging his advances until I'm in a backbend. A fucking backbend! And that's a day in the life for a girl. Doing backbends, trying to make yourself comfortable for normal situations. Walking down the street. Feeling comfortable in your own clothes. So please, teachers, students, women, if you hear something sexist, you better stop it. Call it out. Do whatever you can. Because ideas fester into actions. Boys cannot be boys any longer. And I cannot be paranoid anymore.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. And right now we're going to have like a 15-minute Q&A. So don't be shy. Feel free to ask any questions you want.
Did you make this song by yourself?
Us? No, it's the song Video by India Ari.
Yeah, this one every month.
I hope to, yeah.
Yeah, this is my first one.
Yep, one every month. Where's Mr. Dua? What's next month?
Immigration. So next month is Immigration Matters. So that's going to be on April 26th. Oh yeah, so it's in here. So if you want to perform or if you're interested or anything, you just email Mr. Dua. You give him your name, grade, what type of performance you want to do, and what you'd like to share.
Well, at any point when you were younger, like uncomfortable with the way you...
No, that was the interesting thing. Like, I was thinking about that time in kindergarten and the time at the library, and I think the reason they stuck with me is because both of those times and every time after, I just thought, well, aren't you the fool? You know what I mean? It's like for the person who thinks, oh, is that your son or whatever. I never thought, well, geez, maybe I could pretty it up a little. Maybe I could, you know. I mean, not that I don't have insecurities. Trust me, I got plenty of those. But that's not one of them. I just always thought, if any of my students know, food and comfort. Those are two things that are important.
Food is number one.
Food is number one.
To the last performer, what did you mean by you were in a backbend?
Oh, well, the person was trying to, like, make advances, like, kiss me, and he was, like, holding me down. So I tried to push away, but I couldn't push away, so I could only go backwards.
More thoughts on, voicing feminist opinions from that.
For me, I was when I was writing it, I was like, I can't say, oh, as a woman, I can't do that. So I was like, I'll write about powerful women and about, since this is Women's History Month, let's talk about the history of powerful women. That's what I did.
Yeah, in a similar way, I think that, women have always influenced me in a strong way. My sister was always a model growing up. She just was excelling at sports all the time, and during a time in the 80s when it wasn't as accepted, so she's seen as a pioneer in some ways by people, and she says that people came up to her on the street and said, hey, what you did was incredible, and she just thought of it kind of like, I did it because I liked it, but, it was, really monumental for her to do that. My mother, she just faces struggle after struggle throughout her life, and the way that she can actually, still smile to this day is amazing to me. And then my wife at the same time, she has her own struggles. I have plenty of that I could have added to that. But the way that she gives me some insight into myself is really important for me.
That a lot of people think that the feminist movement has changed like ideas and what they're trying to achieve. And what do you guys think on that?
I mean, the most basic thing is that it really just is about equality. That's all it's about. People tend to misunderstand and think that men aren't welcome or that it's hateful towards men or something, all this crazy stuff. But if you look it up, that's, feminism is simply wanting equality for everybody. And I teach a lot about feminism in my classes, and we talk a lot about men's issues too, because we can't do this alone. We can't move forward with feminism without men as well. Each of us is like half the population, right, roughly? So we need men. So I think it was great. I kind of wanted to add to when someone asked about the men speaking about feminism, and just like if this could just be like an open invite for men to really please consider looking into it and joining us.
And joining the Women's Empowerment Group.
Yeah, join the Women's Empowerment Group. Learn about it. It's really, if you believe in equality, then you would believe in feminism, and we need everybody.
Why do you guys think that some men don't want to take into consideration the feminist movement? Like, they don't want to go with it?
Why give up power?
I feel like it makes them feel maybe a bit weak. They have this idea that feminism is like, oh, it's all about women, men suck and stuff like that, and I feel like they're just afraid.
we also devalue women in our society pretty constantly. Everything from, you throw like a girl and don't be a pussy, sorry, but, you hear these things every day. It's such a part of our culture to devalue women and see women as lesser, and we don't even notice it. So men joining a women's group, when all day men are socialized to man up and be super manly. Hypermasculinity is another issue that feminism is trying to help deal with. That's one of the problems. I think people really misunderstand it though, and it still has that weird stereotype of hating men or that not being welcoming to men. And as a feminist, every day I'm always just trying to tell people that it's just about equality. And check it out, you'll see.
My question is for Olivia. Do you still have the idea of carrying a key when you're going out? Yeah, well, only when it seems like there's no cars, like there's no, like it's deserted, stuff like that. I'm not, violent. It just happens too often. It just happens.
Keys also?
Yeah.
A lot of people do it. It's a normal thing.
When I was writing mine, I started with the keys. The story of my mom teaching me.
Can you raise your hand if you know about the keys? Actually, this is something we do in my class too, and I actually am super lucky that I get to teach about feminism, so I'm sorry I'm not shutting up a lot right now. That's a terrible thing to say at a feminist thing here. Shut up. How do I hear about that? I always ask the class, I first ask the male identified students if they get a lot of cat calls on the street. Guys, do you get cat calls? Okay, there's always one or two. There's always one or two men who say, yes, I have. Sometimes joking, but sometimes seriously, and they have. Ladies, if you don't mind, how many of you have been cat called?
Like somebody said something to you.
Never mind touched inappropriately, and the list goes on, but just the cat calls and, as you can see, pretty much, I do that every year. Every year, pretty much every female hand goes up. Yeah. I'll just quickly say that teaching makes me feel better. I feel like at least if I can tell those stories to my students, being allowed to teach feminism, straight up teach a social justice class, which I was able to help start and teach, I get to talk about this, and I feel like it might make a difference, and that makes me feel better.
I feel like, I don't know if the experiences that have happened to me qualify as PTSD, but I am lucky to have a lot of, is Elliot? Like Elliot, I'm lucky to have a lot of really strong, powerful women in my family, and I'm also really close with a lot of my friends are strong female people as well, so I just try to keep my friends close and my family closer and just vent whenever there's an issue that comes up, and my mom and I are like best friends, and so my grandmother, when she was alive, and I were like best friends. I share a lot of information with those people that normally you probably don't with your moms and grandmothers and stuff, but it just works for us, and so it's just a nice, close, supportive relationship that helps.
And for me, a simple thing is I try to be very conscious to stop apologizing for things that I don't need to apologize for.
That's hard to do.
Because you don't realize how often women will, in a meeting, if it's mostly guys, and then go to say something, and then someone else.
I'm sorry. Sorry for the email. Sorry I'm messaging you the way I'm supposed to.
Yeah, so I try, it doesn't work all the time, but I try to stop myself and say, is it something I actually did for which I should apologize?
Don't apologize for something you didn't do.
That's it. Right. So but it's something.
Or if you need a glass of water at the restaurant and the waiter asks you, don't say, sorry, could I get a glass of water?
Just say,
This is the thing we're trained to do.
right, you can just say.
Sorry, can I, no, you're paying him to get you water.
Right.
It's totally fine.
Right.
It's okay.
It's hard to break that habit.
Fighting back against the stereotypes that you might be living out, and it's hard to step away from them because we are socialized that way. And again, men that are involved in feminism and gender studies, men, we try to talk about fighting against those pressures put on men and for the way that you're supposed to act. So yeah, doing that yourself too.
By the way, I'm not suggesting that we should become rude. That's not my point. But as she said, don't apologize for things that you didn't do. So, or, you don't need to bother.
If this interests you at all, the sort of linguistic end of feminism and gender studies, look for the word just. This is a thing you were just.
I just wanted
right. I
to ask a
just wanted to
question.
ask. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to see. This is something that I don't know if any other women or men in here have this problem where you're constantly apologizing and minimizing yourself and your needs because that's what you're supposed to do. I'm constantly sending emails to housemasters and to parents saying, I just wanted to check. I just wanted to see. Stop justing. It's fine. Go about your business.
I would like to.
Right. I wanted to ask.
Yes. Sorry, can I say, I'm not a student, but can I say one thing that drives me crazy, and I'm curious if the girl students have had this? I don't know why males find it okay to physically pick girls up. Like, I've been, as a teacher, I've had people just, pick me up and move me. Right? How many girls have had this happen to them in their life? It's not okay.
But when it happens in public by strangers and strange men, which it has to me as an adult woman, it gets pretty scary.
One time, I was in the computer lab, and this kid actually put his hand down my shirt. And touched me.
Is he alive?
Because I know your mother. Is he alive?
You didn't slap him?
No, I did.
Oh.
Good job. Nice.
No, but at times you
You're in
like,
shock.
yeah, you're in shock.
Yeah, you're just like, there's no way this person just like did this.
Especially if it's in a class. This is how I'd be upset.
Because then because you get caught for hitting him, and the teacher didn't see what happened before, and then you get sent out.
Yeah,
And you try to tell the teacher, and they're like, I didn't see you.
To throw it out there, I'm showing a documentary that's a lot about date rape in one of my senior classes, and a brilliant movie called The Hunting Ground, and it's hard to convince my students, but every year, because I read everything there is about rape especially, but when you are physically assaulted, it often actually victims tend to freeze and not react the way you think they would react. You think it's normal to fight back or scream, but oftentimes you're so in shock that you don't. And just listening to us and listening to our people, our victims who tell their stories and tell you, and believing them. I had a whole class full of kids and the other day, and quite a few of them just would not believe that you could freeze up when you're being sexually assaulted. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you except read all the books that I've read and listen to the victims. You gotta believe them.
You don't really believe something until it happens.
And the brilliant song "Till It Happens to You" is in that film by Lady Gaga. Watch the video.
And I don't know if anyone has had this experience. I used to take public transportation all the time, and I would be on a bus, and there would be some dude, hands on himself in places that are typically not bus appropriate. And I'm somebody who likes to think that I tell it how it is, that I speak my mind. But if that happens, I'm just I'm not like, stop it! I don't do that. Or maybe I find a different part of the bus to be on, or maybe, my stop is here already. Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm not like, that's not right. I don't. Because you're just your brain is processing this is happening. This is a real thing. That's not normal. It just takes. What do you do?
You don't want to risk your own safety.
Right, because if you yell at him and he has feelings about it, okay, we're on a moving closed vehicle right now. Awesome. Right, I got keys.
Faith in that avenue.
Not really, no.
I mean, I could go to my mom or something, and she'd be like, "Oh, sorry." That's life. Most of the time when stuff happens to you like this, people just think that it's normal. They're like, "That's life." No, it's not. It's not life.
They say, get over it. Or what did you do?
Right.
Yeah, it's always, what did you do?
Right. Yeah, it's like,
So what then? What did you do after that? Like,
yeah.
what do you
Oh,
mean?
I have the same thing.
What was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
School would do something about it. I would hope so. Also transfer it.
I'm going to chime in. You have my promise we'll do something about that. That's from me. But all the house masters here, your counselors, and your staff, we believe you, we support you, and we're here to make you safe. That's absolutely zero tolerance.
So speak up. That's bullshit.
It is. And this is why we need men involved as well, to have those discussions, and because we shouldn't be telling boys that acting like that is normal behavior, and praising it, and telling them to act that way. I mean,
And then you get a boy who doesn't want to act like that, and he's
And
soft,
he's
he's
tortured.
weak,
Yes.
why won't you do
He
that?
needs
That's
to
how
man
we
up.
treat women. Like, no.
right.
Like, it's okay. It's okay for boys to sleep around, and if they're the man, but girls do it.
Thought.
Yeah, like, they're sleeping with. I mean, geez.
It's a matter, like, you can't normalize it. Because, like, in my particular situation, I'm pretty sure that boy really just thought he was flirting. And he didn't see anything harassy about it, even though I was trying to get out there.
Right, this is cute for some reason.
For some reason it's cute. I'm going all the way back here, and, like, he doesn't get the point. So it's normalizing. So when you see it, you just, and, this person, everything about him seems like a cool person, but you're raised in this way where all this thing's okay for you as a dude. No one's telling you it's wrong. Someone has to say, hey, you're kind of going overboard. That's a little weird. Get it together.
Hey, can I say I've had female students say to me that they didn't say anything because one time they said something, and then the guy's friends came to them and said, yo, why are you doing that to him? Why are you being all like that? And then it disrupts the whole social circle. And it's hard when you're in high school and then you think, oh my gosh, I could lose all my friends, which I'll say, they're not your friends then. But that's still a hard call to make.
All right, thank you guys so much.
I want to say thank you for coming out. Awesome job. Thank you guys for presenting. So Terry would like to say something.
I just want to thank Mr. Maslon, Mr. Dewar, and everybody else who helped pull this together. Amazing performances. It's a proud day to be a Highlander. This series has been much better than I could have ever imagined. It's wonderful to see 100 of you here, almost at 4 o'clock. It shows that you guys care. We're a community that is looking to get better, and that's really what we're all doing. Our diversity is nothing without our unity, and that's what you guys are proving every day. So thank you. Thank you to the performers who bared a part of their soul to help touch you guys and inspire you and make us a better place. Thank you.